4:40 Solent Sports News Bulletin.
Conor McGregor is set to return to the UFC tomorrow night to face unbeaten lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. The current UFC pay-per-view record sits at 1.6 million units, and that was set when McGregor took on Nate Diaz back in 2016. But come Saturday, that record is set to be smashed. McGregor signed a $10 million contract with the UFC back in September of this year and is expected to earn well over that much with this much anticipated fight.
December 1st, fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder sold over $1 million worth of tickets in just 25 minutes. Fury and Wilder have been touring across London and Los Angeles promoting the fight, and promoting has clearly caused some excitement among boxing fans.
Forward to this weekend.
Tensions has already seemed high, and with 3 months to wait until the two step into the ring, we could be looking at the biggest heavyweight clash of the year.
The England cricket team have this afternoon beaten a Sri Lanka 11 side by 43 runs in the last warm-up game before this month's one-day series. Owen Morgan and Joe Root were the stars of the show, with Captain Morgan hitting 91 and Root scoring 90, but both not out, which sparked an unbroken 174-run partnership. England go up against Sri Lanka in a 5-match ODI series, which starts on October 10th.
Five-time Ballon d'Or winning footballer Cristiano Ronaldo has been accused of sexually assaulting a female in Las Vegas in 2009. The accusation have caused global sports manufacturer Nike, who sponsor Juventus star in an estimate $1 billion contract, to come out and express their deep concern towards the situation. Ronaldo has since denied the allegation in a statement on Twitter and is set to return to action for his new club on Saturday against Udinese.
Arsenal breezed past Qarabag 3-0 in their second Europa League tie. They are expected to face a much tougher challenge when they travel to Sporting Lisbon at the end of the month. That was the Gunners' 8th win in a row in all competitions, and there were a lot of positives to take from the game. Socrates Papastopoulos, Emil Smith-Rowe and Matteo Guendouzi all scored their first competitive goals for the Gunners.
In other results, Chelsea beat Hungarian side Videoton 1-0. Celtic lost 3-1 to Red Bull Salzburg, and Rangers beat Rapid Vienna by 3-1.
England manager Gareth Southgate has revealed his latest squad, with 3 debutants among the names. 18-year-old Jadon Sancho has been called up following a good start to the season at Borussia Dortmund, while Leicester's James Maddison and on-loan Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount also made the cut. England will be facing Croatia next Friday and then Spain 3 days later in the UEFA Nations League.
And in Rugby League, Warrington pulled off a shock victory against St Helens in the Super League semi-final last night. The league changed hands 4 times during the thrilling semi-final match, which saw Warrington Tom Leenham score 2 tries on his first game back from suspension. They will play the winner of tonight's second semi-final between Wigan Warriors and Cattersfield Tigers in the Super League final on October the 13th.
The British tennis number 1 Carl Edmund has progressed to the semi-finals of the China Open. The Brit beat Serbian Dusan Lajovic in straight sets 6-3, 7-6. Edmund will face either Georgia's Nikolosh Basilashvili or Malik Jaziri of Tunisia on Saturday, with the winner then going on to the final. Top seed Juan Martin Del Potro has also progressed to the semis.
Climbing is set to make its Olympics debut at the next edition of the Games in Tokyo in 2020. Although participation levels have massively improved in recent years, the announcement has not come without controversy, as described by Solent student George Baker.
Would you consider climbing a sport? Well, the Olympic Committee do. Alongside karate, surfing and skateboarding, climbing will be introduced for the very first time at the Tokyo Games in 2020. You may be thinking that this is a modern sport that is just taking off, but you'd be very wrong. Climbing was first recognised as a sport in the 1880s and has grown ever since, with over 5 million participants in the UK alone, with that number continuing to rise. Here in Southampton's Boulder Shack Gym, hundreds of enthusiastic climbers practiced their skills, including Solent's climbing team president, Holly Schulz, who has already noticed a rise in attendance figures since the announcement.
I think there's a lot of new people who haven't ever tried climbing before and they're really interested in it as a sport, and definitely the centre as well. Like when I've just been climbing, there's a lot of people coming around doing inductions who haven't climbed before, so it's definitely having an impact already.
However, whilst the sport may look to be on the rise, the news of its introduction from the IOC has created some controversy within the community. The format for sport climbing will consist of 3 disciplines: lead, speed and bouldering. The decision to merge all 3 aspects of the sport has resulted in some of the world's top competitors being frozen out and unable to qualify to compete on the global stage. Alex Honnold, arguably the biggest name in climbing, focuses solely on bouldering, and because of this he does not fit the criteria for which participants must be cross-trained in all areas. Not only is he the first man to free climb the 2,900-foot Californian rock face El Capitan, he also has an estimated net worth of $2 million generated through his achievements, and has said that the current format does not accommodate him. He said, "Competitive climbing is basically a whole different subsport. I'm more of an adventurer, not so much training inside. I can't climb at nearly the level required for competition." Despite these strong words from one of the biggest names in the sport, Team Solent's Edward Oakley is still encouraged by the progress.
It's a hard one. You've got to just come and try it, because it's just completely pointless activity where you're going up a wall in a warehouse or in the middle of nowhere, but it's like the funnest thing you'll ever do.
In this gym alone, the enthusiasm is apparent, which makes the prospect of an Olympic appearance a potential catalyst to reach greater heights.
Now, with students struggling as it is it really fair to up the prices just to play football? We went down to investigate the rising prices at Solent Men's Football Club.
The new Solent Bucks football season has begun, with controversy as membership costs have risen. Players are now forced to pay £150 if they want to play for the uni teams. This is causing an outrage amongst students who are already living within a tight budget, which has left some with no choice but to quit. Brandon Eaton from the first team revealed that high prices are discouraging players to participate.
Last year it was 120. At the time I felt like it was too high then, so for it rising to 150, I feel like for students that have much money, I feel like it's not very affordable. And if it was cheaper, then it would encourage players to play. The uni obviously want to do well and compete in the Bucks League, so you want to have kind of as many players as possible available to pick from. So by putting the prices up to 150, that may kind of disencourage people to play for the uni team.
The Bucks have 4 squads which all have to pay the same membership fee. However, the first team does get privileges such as transports covered to games, training and data analysts. Jamie Edmonds, second manager, admitted it would help him to develop his squad.
I think it would benefit. Obviously, the professional clubs have data analysts on day in, day out, and they tell you what you can work on in training. So that would only benefit us. And obviously, transport to train, that's another big issue. Lots of players can't get to training because obviously Test Park isn't near where we live in Southampton. So it would make a huge difference, really.
Matt Hammond, second team striker, agreed with his manager and said the price is too high for what they receive.
Well, I only found out this week, and I struggled to pay the 120 that it was last year. So the increase now is, obviously there's nothing we can do about it, but I don't agree with it. I think it's rubbish. I think for what we get, we shouldn't be paying anywhere near that much.
There is unrest off the field for the seconds, but that was put aside as they beat the first team 7-3. Liam Dell, head of Solent Sport, was unavailable to comment on the matter. We'll have to wait and see as to why membership prices have gone up.
With women's football on the rise throughout the UK, Solent has seen a huge turnout for prospective players for the new season. Rosie Todbell investigates.
Women's football can be the first female sport to break through into the mainstream. That's the view of the FA's new director of the female game, Kelly Simmons, who believes awareness for this side of the game is growing. Turning up to the first training session of the season for the Solent ladies team, you can see where Simon gets this opinion. The 2018-19 season sees 20 join the current crop of Solent ladies players, taking the total number of players to almost 50, the highest participation has been in recent years. It makes for a refreshing change from last year, where turnout for training sessions was low and motivation to play became a real issue. Captain and third year Georgie Lowe says there has already been a significant change since last year.
Yeah, definitely. We had 28 girls turn up to training on Monday, which is the biggest number we've had since I can remember, to be fair. And we had trials, good turnout, and hopefully we just keep gradually building that up and girls keep committing and come back to training and to games as well.
This should hardly come as a surprise. 2018 figures released by British Universities and Colleges Sport states that 53% of female students are now doing some activity each week. Bucks claim that this is down to programmes such as Women in the Sport and This Girl Can. Lowe is in agreement with Simmons, with the Solent ladies skipper believing the female game has that breakthrough potential.
If I had that sort of programme when I was younger, it definitely would increase the amount of girls at my age that would be participating right now. There's lots of more opportunities out there for girls right now to participate, especially in football, so just keep getting programmes like that just to keep girls going and participating in sport, really.
Solent ladies manager Rafa Citron believes this can only be a positive for his side this season as they look to improve in their third place Bucks finish last year.
Yeah, we got good new players coming in, so it's just the beginning now. We need to see them more. The first impression was really good, really positive. The first thing is be better than we were last season. We finished third in the Bucks. We'll try to get second or first place this season.
It's not just football, however. Holly Vaness, who plays for both Solent's rugby and football teams, says it's more of a general increase.
For the women's team, it's increased quite a bit this year. We've seen a lot of women come in with experience as well, which is quite nice. So we're already starting to progress onto better levels of rugby already, even though it's like the second or third week back.
Another campaign launched by Bucks is the #DoesYouGood movement, an initiative between Bucks and the Pulse Group which seeks to get more students active more often. But Vanessa feels this still needs to be done for other lesser sports.
I have heard previously that there are some that they're not doing so well at the moment, so quite a few of them. I mean, sort of weightlifting isn't as popular, and boxing as well. Like, I know someone who's struggled to find matches and things that haven't been able to play into the Bucks season.
At Solent, as with the Women's Super League, there are plenty of positives when it comes to the female football game. Rafa Citron and his side kick off their latest Bucks season next Wednesday, with the influx of new players giving them all the reason to feel positive.
That's all for now. We'll see you back here next week. In the meantime, you can follow us on social media at Solent Sports News on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram too. Thank you and see you then.